Are you ready for what could change the course of the Bears' entire season? Because what I'm about to say might just have you jumping out of your seat. We've got a player who could blow up at any moment, starters who need to prove themselves before it's too late, and our franchise quarterback facing the biggest pressure of his entire career. If you dip out now, you're going to miss the 3 bombshells that might decide whether the Bears finally take that leap we've all been waiting. 4. Stick around to the end. This only gets more intense. Look, I've got to be honest. This has been weighing on me. Ben Johnson hasn't laid out his full preseason plans yet, but I'm telling you, there are 6 key starters who have to get more reps. If they don't, we might be watching the season slip through our fingers before week 1 even kicks off. Let's start with Braxton Jones at left tackle. This guy missed all of last season after a brutal leg injury in December. Can you imagine that? No OTAs, no mini camps, and he's already missed a chunk of training camp. So tell me, how is he supposed to protect our quarterback without those reps under his belt? His situation is critical, not just health-wise, but job-wise. Ben Johnson isn't in a rush to name a starting left tackle, but Jones needs to lock that spot down early with a dominant showing in preseason games. He's got Kieran Amagaji breathing down his neck and rookie Ozzie Trapilo right there too. If Jones doesn't get every snap he can to prove he's the guy, we could be looking at some serious instability on the blind side. And that's the last thing Caleb Williams needs. Speaking of Caleb Williams, he's on this list too. I'll say it flat out. Our quarterback cannot afford to take half a season to settle in. Critics are waiting to pounce on any slip-up, and I truly believe he needs heavy preseason reps to shut the noise down from game 1. Williams has to have a breakout year in 2025 if we're ever going to believe he's the franchise guy we've been waiting on for decades. He needs every single snap in preseason to build chemistry with his receivers and get locked in with Ben Johnson's system. The pressure is sky high, and a solid preseason could be the difference between starting the year as a confident leader or as a young QB still trying to find his footing. Then you've got Andre Billings, affectionately known around the locker room as Big Bill. He missed the second half of last season with a pec injury and has been rehabbing ever since. But no amount of gym work replaces real-time live reps. For a defensive tackle who relies on upper body strength, that kind of injury is a huge red flag. Billings needs to prove he's not just healthy, but still the disruptive force we saw before he went down. If he can't show that early, the middle of our D-line might be in trouble. Drew Dalman at center is another red flag. There's been a bunch of snap issues with the quarterback during camp. Not panic-worthy yet, but definitely something to watch. More preseason reps, especially in hostile environments, could help clean up the timing and communication. The center QB bond is sacred in football, and if Dalman and Williams can't sync up, that offense isn't going anywhere. They need to be clicking like clockwork by week 1. Next up is Jaquan Brisker. He missed a chunk of 2024 with injury, and now he's entering the final year of his rookie deal. The Bears need to decide if he's worth a second contract, and the only way to fairly judge that is with a full body of work. He's shown flashes of greatness when healthy, but durability is a real concern. This preseason is his tryout for a new contract. Every tackle, every coverage play, every moment on the field matters, not just for this year, but for his whole future with this team. Finally, there's Rome Odunze. Just like with Dalman, he needs to sharpen his chemistry with Caleb Williams. Rome had a solid rookie year, over 700 receiving yards, but there were plenty of miscommunications along the way. If the Bears are going to take that big leap in 2025, Williams and Odunze have to be on the same page. Routes tighter, timing sharper, trust stronger. Every preseason snap together is building toward that. You see the pattern, right? These guys all have something to prove. And if Ben Johnson doesn't give them the reps they need, we might be headed toward another disaster. So what do you think? Will these 6 get the playing time they need? Now, let me get into something that's been frustrating me for 2 straight years. Roshan Johnson, our 4th-round pick from the 2023 draft, is heading into his 3rd season, and the Bears still don't know what they have in him. And you want to know why? Because the Matt Eberflus regime completely dropped the ball when it came to giving this guy a legit shot while he was healthy. It's hard to believe, but the Bears genuinely don't have a good read on the back they drafted. Now, 2 years ago, and I'll say it loud, this was one of the biggest talent misjudgments we've seen in years. Think about this. Johnson had fewer carries last year than our quarterback, Caleb Williams. How wild is that? In an offense that was supposedly all about backfield rotation, DeAndre Swift ended up with a career-high 253 carries and almost 300 touches. Meanwhile, Johnson got only 81 total carries. In 2 full seasons, that's unreal. As the number 2 running back, he had fewer rushing attempts than the quarterback. And this with a coordinator who was known for rotating his backs, but Swift completely dominated the touches. Here's what both fires me up and drives me nuts. When Roshan did get touches, especially in short yardage, he was lights out. He tied for the team lead with 6 touchdowns and ranked 20th among all NFL running backs in scoring. Despite being just 65th in total, carries with a measly 55. He delivered when it mattered. His efficiency was off the charts. Used the right way, this guy is a weapon, and he knows it too. Johnson said recently, "I've got a lot of tape to show, a lot I want to prove that I haven't had the chance to over the past 2 years. I'm looking forward to that, but when I do get those opportunities, I've got to make them count." He added, scoring. Touchdowns isn't a bad deal. I'd say that's definitely a plus. Whatever I can do to help, whether it's short yardage, goal line, whatever it is, I'm all in. It's fun being part of that. But I think there's way more to this guy. He can block, he can catch, he can run. He's a modern running back who just hasn't had a chance to show the full package. During training camp, he's been making plays at the goal line, showing vision, patience, and the ability to find space where there isn't any. And you know who does see it? Ben Johnson. That gives me real hope. After Sunday's Family Fest, Ben was hyped about how Roshan was lowering his shoulder and taking on contact. All those guys were lowering their pads and running into contact, Johnson said. When you saw a crease, that's when I saw what others might miss. Whether it was there or not, they were running with a purpose. It was physical football. Roshan's embracing the new system too. Right now, he's got that David Montgomery type role. Power back, a tough runner. Not the only thing he brings to the table, but it's a key piece. And the versatility of this new offense, he loves it. There's a bunch of different things we can do, Roshan said about the new scheme. Ben's got a great mind for the game, and he's super detailed in what he's trying to accomplish. That's going to help us a lot when we hit tough games or need to make adjustments. The playbook gives us the tools. Even though the Bears have been doing more full contact drills than we've seen in years, Roshan hasn't had a ton of chances yet to fully shine. But that time's coming, and I believe we're going to see a lot more of Roshan Johnson this year. So I got to ask, is this finally the year Roshan gets his shot? Because if Ben Johnson wants tough physical football, there's a really obvious answer sitting right there. And maybe, just maybe, Roshan Johnson finally gets the chance to show us all what he's got. Now we get to the story that's got the whole Bears organization holding its breath. Caleb Williams is facing the most intense pressure of his entire football career. And I'll say it straight up. It's now or never. Our number 1 guy, Caleb Williams, is stepping into his second NFL season. And yeah, he's been all over the headlines, but can he bounce back from a brutal rookie year with the Bears? Last season was rough. The Bears finished 5-12. We dropped 10 games in a row. Williams got sacked 68 times, more than any other quarterback in the league. It was painful to watch. But to be fair, the numbers don't tell the full story. Williams still put up respectable stats. Over 3,500 yards, 20 touchdowns, just 6 picks. That's solid. The real issue was the O-line falling apart and the defense failing to support him. 68 sacks. That's not just physical, it's mental. Imagine being a rookie QB and knowing every single snap could end with you on the ground. That messes with your head. Every time the pocket formed, it was like a fake sense of safety. That kind of environment. Stunts growth, plain and simple. Now here comes Ben Johnson. And I mean this, if there's anyone who can unlock Caleb Williams, it's Ben Johnson. This guy turned Jared Goff and the Lions offense into a top 5 unit 3 years straight. He's smart, experienced, and creative. He's got the blueprint. Now he just needs to execute it here in Chicago. And that starts with Caleb. Done NFL analyst Dan Orlovsky said something that hit me hard. It's Caleb Williams' time. He needs to walk onto the field and prove he's the guy, the talent, the leader and the future for a team in a city that's desperate for exactly that. He grouped Caleb in with QBs like Trevor Lawrence, JJ McCarthy, Anthony Richardson, and Bryce Young. All guys with something to prove right now. What gives me hope? Ben Johnson sees the same insane potential in Caleb that we all saw on draft night. He said, I saw a guy with incredible upside. Every week he made throws that were just jaw-dropping. I remember being on the sideline when he lit us up. But I also saw moments where the anticipation just wasn't there. And that's normal for a rookie. You gotta rep it over and over. That's how you grow. And Johnson isn't expecting overnight magic. He knows Caleb's still learning. But the signs are there. During training camp, Williams has been cleaning up his process, putting in the behind-the-scenes work that nobody sees. But it's starting to pay off. Johnson recently said, this was supposed to be the guy's day off, but his routine is dialed in. I love that. He's putting in the work where it counts. The behind-the-scenes stuff. That's where we're seeing real growth. I'm telling you, this is Caleb Williams' defining season. He has to hit the ground running in 2025. He's got the tools. Now it's about putting it all together fast. Because if he can't prove he's the franchise guy this year, the Bears might be heading back to square one. The pressure's never been higher, but I believe he's built for it. Bears fans, these 3 stories paint a crystal clear picture of where this team stands heading into the most important season we've had in years. We've got players who need to earn their place, hidden talent ready to break out, and a quarterback under the most pressure of his life. Do you think this is the year Roshan Johnson finally breaks out? Will Ben Johnson give those 6 starters the preseason reps they desperately need? And most importantly, do you believe Caleb Williams can lead the Bears to greatness under Ben Johnson's system? Because here's the truth. If we're not united as a Bears community, if we don't stand behind our guys in these make or break moments, we'll never see the team we've all dreamed of. This is our Bears family, and families stick together. It's through the tough times and celebrate the wins. If you made it this far, it's because you care as much as I do. So hit that subscribe button, join the community, and drop a comment letting me know which of these 3 stories has you most fired up for the season ahead. Because at the end of the day, we're Bears, and Bears never quit, bear down, family.